he got.
Yeah, well, one of the
Yeah, Terry. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no, no. I was just gonna say one of the famous quotes by one of the management guys. It might have even been Lucchino. Honestly, they said, "We don't pay pitchers over 30 because they're getting old," and then they go and pay David Price $218 million. That was my
Yeah,
favorite.
it's insane. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, the whole 5 number ones thing that Farrell said with Kelly and Masterson and fucking Buckholt and But the thing with Lester is, and I think when they traded him, maybe he wanted to come back, but I don't think they were ever really in the negotiation to bring him back when he left to the Cubs. I think they were just in it to say that they were in it. I don't think they really wanted him back, which I don't understand why, but that's just my thoughts on it. Well, I think they were just kind of faking it. I think they were just like, well, if we can get him cheap enough, we'll keep him. If not, it's no real loss. We didn't have him anyways. So.
Well, actually, I know on the night that he signed, and it was known that whole day that was going to be the day. I know Sherrington was meeting with him because I gave up around like midnight or so, and there was a tweet from one of the beat writers that said, Lester's people are meeting right now with Ben Sherrington. So I went to bed thinking, okay, we got this. And then I think that the first tweet announcing it came at like 2 or 3 a.m. And it was the Cubs, obviously. And so there was that day, but, who knows? I mean, they never really... Someone revealed that we had offered 135, and the Cubs were at 150 or 155, and then somehow there was another 25 that was like a signing bonus type thing. I don't know how that got structured into it, but that's how it went down on the final day anyway. So one of the worst days of my Red Sox life outside of Francona getting fired. And if you guys want to throw up in your mouths right now, here's something for you. If we got Hamels at the start of the 2015 season and you counted in his option years going forward, it all totaled up to $110 million. And we could have had Lester for that, $110 million. So that's $220 million for 2 aces. For 1 World Series MVP in Hamels, I don't think Lester got at least a MVP in the World Series, but he pitched very well in a couple of them, obviously. And so basically 2 for the price of 1, and we dumped $217 on Price. How sick is that?
That was a colossal mistake.
Yeah. So we could have had 2 for the price of 1, but we dumped it all on a guy who can't even win in October. So
yeah, sounds about right. Also, just because I spoke his name and now bad things are going to happen, Tatis Jr. was removed from the game tonight because he got hit by a pitch. So There you go, Padres fans out there.
That organization deserves a lot of bad karma, though, because their GM is shady. They
do. No, he does, and he does for sure. And they do.
How does he not get fired? Like, some executives from St. Louis went to jail for hacking into the Astros database or whatever. This guy is like covering up medical records, and he sent a reliever to the Marlins who immediately got sent back because he needed Tommy John. Nobody knew that. And just a really shady motherfucker, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, so. He's super shady, but I mean, it's working. He just keeps adding people to that list. I mean, Mejia just jumps up to 3rd overall on their top 50 prospects, which is crazy to think about because of how good their system is. I mean, Anderson Espinosa is a 8th best prospect on their list, so they're very deep over there. They've done a good job of repairing that team.
Yeah, and when he came in, he basically pulled a Dombrowski and sold off everyone. He traded his, I don't know exactly which numbers, but it was like his 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10th ranked prospects, something like that. And then that's how they brought in, the Matt Kemps, and they got Kimbrel from Atlanta, and And some of those were free agents, though. Shields was brought in as a free agent, and they just went crazy. And then before the trade deadline, they're already selling guys off, and it's taken them this far to get back. And it looks impressive, like you said. They got 9 guys in the top 100, but there were a lot of mishaps before they got to this, anyway.
Oh yeah, a lot of swing and misses, but at least they went and did it and committed to the rebuild, something that Baltimore and Texas need to do.
Yeah, and it's a decent time to do that because the Diamondbacks are kind of getting towards the edge of their window. I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of balance it out and still be competitive or not, because they got some big contracts already, and then Goldschmidt's going to be a free agent, so who knows if the Diamondbacks are going to be good a couple years from now. And I don't know how good Colorado is set up for the long term. And the Giants aren't really. They got a terrible farm system. And,
the Giants think that team's going nowhere.
Yeah, so it could be that the Padres are getting themselves in a position to kind of go head to head with the Dodgers for the next 4 or 5 years. So it'll be interesting to see how it shapes out for them. Getting back to the Red Sox and the reliever situation, if I want to be an optimist right now, I could say we don't need anybody, because you can say Workman has been, with a small sample size, has been pitching very well. His ERA is like in the mid ones. His WHIP is below 1. He was pretty good in 2013 anyway, so it's this isn't that new to him, so you can kind of make a case that he'll be pretty solid. Barnes is having his best year ever, and if Kelly turns it around, suddenly you're looking really good again. But
yeah, Thornburg too, who could really be ready for the playoffs in the year 7th or 8th.
Absolutely, Tyler Thornburg. I think they're kind of easing him in, so I don't think we're gonna see him in back-to-back days for a little while, but he's there, and that Brazier guy that was closing,
yep.
he
looks good.
He looks good. Bobby Pointer. So there's enough there to not freak out. But I mean, would I like another reliever available? I don't know who else there would be. I mean, Britton would be. You'd have to give up at least probably a top 10 prospect for him.
Yeah. I don't know if we even have it to go get him, because they might just ask for absurd things.
Yeah, who is available though? Just a couple names if we know any.
I mean, you just kind of just said it there with
Iglesias is available in Cincinnati.
Definitely don't have enough for him.
Multiple years though, so I don't know. They're going to want a little bit more.
Yeah.
They were linked to him though.
They were linked to everybody. I feel like you got to kick the tires on every player.
Yeah.
As a GM. I don't think we're going to get Moustakas, nor do I think we need him, but I'm sure we've talked about it, because if it costs just a Chavez from Moustakas,
that would be overpaying, I would say.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, nothing crazy, but I don't think you're going to get that type of deal. So.
Yeah. Another name that comes to mind is Familia with the Mets.
Yeah, we talked about him last time. That wouldn't be a bad one either. I feel like we could definitely get that. But then again, that team just is so bad right now. I don't know if they're going to even be able to make a trade, just organizational wise.
Yeah, it just depends on what their front office wants to do. If they want to wait until they, hire someone. Texas has that. Is it Keela? I don't know if he would.
No, Keona Kella. Yeah, no, I'm out on him.
Okay. And I think the Marlins guys, was it Steckenrider and is it Barraclough?
Yeah, both of those guys. That could be, Tyler, something you were talking about, getting 2 guys at once, kind of like how Cleveland did today. That would be the trade right there. You could get both of those guys. They have team control arbitration left on them. They wouldn't cost a lot of money. You could clean up your bullpen next year with cutting some guys, letting some guys go, moving guys around, and, definitely be okay. So those 2 guys would be good. I've been preaching for a while now. I think they should go after Steckenrider and Starlin Castro and pay for both, because both would help in the near and immediate and distant future, possibly as well.
Well, you're talking about going over that luxury tax. If you really wanted to get 3 guys and tell the Marlins you'll take all the money, you could get Castro, you could get Bearclaw or Steckenrider, and you could also get, what was the guy's name that was here? Ziegler, if you wanted to bring him back.
Harry would love to get Ziegler back.
I'm a Ziegler guy, yeah, and he's been pitching fairly well last I checked. So
I mean, I would do that. If you give me Steckenrider, Ziegler, and Castro, I mean, that's a good trade. You get Castro next year as well, and a club option for $16 million the year after that. I mean, if the guy's hitting 300, he's top 5 in hits in the National League. If he comes over here and does that, and you can figure out a way to move Pedroia, well, there you go. You got to start with Castro, and he's not.
Yeah, I'm of the ilk that Pedroia is not coming back. Like ever. I think Pedroia is done.
Yeah,
I think Pedroia is done.
I don't think he's going to give the value to this team, and I know he's great defensively, but I mean, you could go find anybody in Double or Triple A that can. Marco Hernandez, for example.
or Zue Lin, even.
Yeah, Zule Win. These guys are great defensively, and they're younger, and they don't cost any money. So I'm all done with Pedroia. I'm all set.
He'll make one more attempt next year, I feel like, but I mean, it might last a week again, like this one did.
Oh yeah, no, the Red Sox are very, very outspoken about you don't lose your job to injury. You get your chance to come back. So he's gonna get his chance next year, and he'll have a decent spring training, and everyone's gonna be like, here he is, Pedroia's back. Going to go run around, dive around, not take care of his body, and then get in a slump, and he's going to get cut, hopefully.
Right.
I feel bad for the guy, to be honest with you.
I don't. I hate that guy.
I love Pedroia. I don't have any hatred. I've always liked him. I think the last couple of years he hasn't been himself, and I've grown not to like him as much. But I don't feel that bad because every time he gets one of these things, he goes out there and continues to play really hard, which is great and all for the morale and for the young fans and stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't want him diving around everywhere for everything. He's not going to last, and now he's not going to last. And those good years were great, but he just keeps breaking himself down. And he also has been arrogant. He came back and he had that cocky interview in Pawtucket talking about how no one's ever come back this fast. He's 4 months ahead, and he feels great right now, and he looks great. And look at him, he's out there hitting and playing, and comes back and forces himself right back in the lineup. And I think that, he should have been out until now. I think the All-Star break should have been back, but he had to come back. He had to be the gritty, dirty dog that he is. So, I don't know. Those things that piss me off, I just don't think that he's valuable to his team anymore.
Yeah, and even if you brought him in as a DH, I still don't think there's a ton of value even with that, really.
I mean, yeah, you don't want a DH that's going to hit 300 with 10 home runs, if that.
Right.
If he's healthy, he'll hit 300, but if he's not, he's going to hit 250 with 5 home runs. That's not a good DH.
Yeah. And you could tell in the playoffs last year that knee was really hurting his power because there was some balls that would come off his bat, and I instantly I thought they were crushed just because of the angle, but there was no exit velocity whatsoever, and they just kind of fizzled in shallow left, and I just thought, yeah, this guy is shot basically. So
he's almost like Jeter at the end of his career, where he literally has no power at all.
Right.
Yeah, let's see if we do what the Yankees did with Jeter, though, and trot him out there every single day just because his name's Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Because not only the Yankees weren't contending then, so they could, but we're contending now, and I don't think that the fan base just wants Pedroia going 1 for 20 every 20 at bats and getting hurt.
I think the fan base, for the majority part, loves Pedroia, though.
I think it's about 60-40 in favor of him, is what I would say.
Yeah. I think of the hardcore fans, it's 60-40, but the casual fan, it's more like 80-20.
Yeah, more like the older people.
Yeah, those, the kids, probably the older people who, love his effort, and he's tiny, and he's the captain and all that fun stuff.
He's cute.
Yeah, cute.
I think he's kind of a fraud, to be honest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't. When he threw what's his name, Barnes, under the bus, that was it. And Dave, when you say the casual fans, I don't know if they even understood the magnitude of that. They probably didn't even know who Manny Machado was, because that's the Red Sox only crowd. They
had no understanding of what that situation was and how it transfolded and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why, it's kind of cool to get a few of us on here, because if you if you're walking through Walmart and you see a guy with a Red Sox hat on, I mean, he probably doesn't know who Dave Dombrowski is.